Terry, I don't know
Hey,
what kind of music you listen to, but here in Chicago, we have, some classic rock stations.
yeah,
And today is Tuesday, so they have two for Tuesdays, right? Are you familiar with that music concept?
no,
Where they play two songs from the same artist back to back. So they call it two for Tuesday.
okay.
Well, today is 10 for Tuesday. 10 races today at Parx for
Oh,
Terry and
yeah,
Rich. Everybody's favorite track. For whatever reason, whenever we do track, Parx, everybody's all hyped up and ready to go.
yeah. They must really like it, so that's cool.
Yeah, yesterday was kind of an interesting day. After that first race, hit the superfecta, and I'm like, it's going to be a good day. And then things kind of got a little bit of sideways after that. Some
Yeah,
shots coming in, and some horses that, quite frankly, were just. I went back and looked at them, kind of hard to find. How's it going, Therese? Have a wonderful Tuesday, and this 10 for Tuesday, 10 races at Parx, right?
yeah. Well, I was really excited because the first leg of the pick four, my second choice won and paid $33, and I thought,
Mm.
oh, good. And then in the second leg, my pick of the day stumbled coming out of the gate. I don't know if you saw that, but stumbled pretty badly and was dead last. And coming
Hmm.
in the stretch, of course, closed. But that's what, six horse that didn't figure it all won and paid 70 some dollars or something.
Yeah, you just got to the. I mean, yesterday that it seemed to me just from watching it, you got the lead at Fairgrounds and you were going to win.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was a very, very heavy early pace bias. So I know today is another day today, Terry. It's not only 10 for Tuesday, but for many folks around the world, today is Fat Tuesday as well.
Yeah, that's true. But back there in Louisiana,
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 down there in New Orleans,
New
right, with the
Orleans,
beads.
New
Show me
Orleans.
your picks.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so that should be a lot of fun down there. So if you're betting today down in Fairgrounds, you might want to remember that speed bias that they had yesterday. I think today they've changed the post times, right? At Parks, they're starting a little bit later now than they used to start.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's 52 minutes before race starts, and so they were starting around 9:25, but now it's like 9:45 or 9:50, something like that.
Yeah, I think about 5 minutes to the hour is when the first race.
Yeah.
So we got about. All right, so let's get started with Parks then today, Terry. What do you say?
All right, sounds good to me.
All right. So race number one, Terry, is a 1 mile race. It is. Hold on a second. Let me pull up the classifications here. It is a 1 mile, 70-yard race, maiden claiming 10,000, purse of 19,000. At the 1 mile and 70 yards so far, the profile of a winner at Parx looks like this: 47 races, 33 won by speed. You've had 13 go wire to wire. Looks like you want to have post position 1, 2, or 3, and then or 8 out because they seem to have a little bit advantage over 4, 5, 6, and 7. This race, Terry, is a maiden claiming 10,000. I see that your card is littered with, so is mine. So if twos win today, it looks like we're going to have a pretty good day today.
Yeah,
We just picked the wrong day. That was last week, the 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, whatever that was. But
yeah.
why do you like Speedy Zephyr as your top choice?
Well, I'm pretty well like it because it, finished third in a similar race last time, and then I like number 6, Merging Traffic, had the highest last race speed rating, best dirt speed as fastest among today's starters, and then I like number 5, Kane, switches to a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days has won 6 out of 22 races, finishing in the money 50% of the time. Then I
Are you
like number
familiar with the wrestler Kane, like the WWE wrestler Kane?
No, but
No.
I remember wrestlers like Pepper Gomez and the Sheik and
Hmm.
that sort of thing, which is back in the 50s.
Back in the 50s. No, Kane was like a wrestler that had like a sort of like the Batman, I forget the guy's name with the mask, but he had that sort of kind of feel to him. And
Oh
now
wow!
he's the mayor of some town in Tennessee. But
Oh
anyway,
wow! That's funny.
it's got to be a wild place to live where Kane is your mayor. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, that's true. Wasn't one of them a governor of like Minnesota or was
Jesse the
Wisconsin?
Body Ventura. Yes, he was
Yeah.
indeed. A lot of people thought he should be a president, and then he started talking, and they realized he maybe hit his head on the mat a few many times. But go ahead.
Anyway, I like number 3 as my 4th pick. Winners win, has some
Are
early
you sure you
speed.
have the 3 and not the 4 horse?
Oh, maybe. Let me see.
Let's
Do I
see.
have-
I mean, it's very possible I put the wrong number in. So
Maybe I did. Let's see. No,
3 horse. All right, we'll put the 3 in there, Terry.
no. Yeah, the 3. Man, the right.
Race 1.
Yeah, I'm looking.
The 3 horse is Winners Win.
Yeah, that's
All
the
right,
one I
so
have. Yeah.
I must have put the wrong number in. So it's my fault, Terry. I take the blame, you know?
Oh, okay. Anyway, in that race, they did scratch the number one horse, Navtiva's Knight, I think it's pronounced.
That horse is scratched?
Yeah.
Ah. All right. So I'll change one right away too. So you're done with your picks then, Winners Win?
Yes.
All right. So you said they scratched the 1. So I'm going to go 5, and then I'm going to put the 3 last, Terry. So for me, number 6, Merging Traffic. I feel like this is a wide open race, Terry. So, these maiden claimings, we see that in these contests. A lot of times people beat us by picking long shots in these races.
Yeah.
So I feel like the 6 horse has a chance to win. Might as well take a price. I expect the horse to be better in the third start off a layoff. Did post a top last race speed figure the next time out and showed a much better 6 furlong fractions. Trainer liked what he saw, so he's turning the horse around. Last ran on February 22nd. Speedy Zephyr is my second choice. Getting a little bit of a weight break in here, Terry. And the horse did show some really nice improvement across the board last time. 2 furlong, 4 furlong late pace numbers. And one I expect should improve in the second start off a layoff. You mentioned number 1, Navtiva's Knight got scratched. So Kane is taking the track drop, Terry, going in from Aqueduct to Parx. Also dropping in terms of real dollars from $43,000 down to a $19 race. First time Lasix, and it has the strong late pace numbers by a long shot. And then Winners Win, as you mentioned, is the number 3 horse. Yeah. It was just the one that was next in line for me. I don't know that it has a chance to win, to be honest with you. Although the trainer Dexter Haddock the jockey Dexter Haddock and Harold Weiner, the trainer, they've run together once and they won that one race.
Okay, I've got a little bit of disappointing news for you because I just rechecked the scratches, and at 11:15 they scratched the number 6 Merging Traffic.
All right. So now we're just going to go 2, 5, and 3. Oh man, I just messed myself up. I went the wrong way. Hold on. Undo. So we're going to go 2, 5, and 3, and then this one's going to be deleted, and then Terry is going to go 2, 5, and 3 as well. This one's deleted. Any fourth pick there, just in case?
Yeah, I did have a fourth pick, which was number 4, Ruby Dooby Doo.
Yes, like Scooby Dooby Doo. So I'm on the same number with you. All right, there we go. 2, 5, 3, 4. Are there any races, new scratches in race number 2?
Let me look and make sure that. Let's see, number 2. No, it's the same horses. The 4 and the 6 are scratched.
All right, so race number 2 is 5.5 furlongs, optional claiming 16,000, Terry. And when you look at 5.5 furlongs, the profile of a winner is like this: 16 races, as you can imagine. 21 races. 16 have been won by early speed, with 7 of the 16 going wire to wire. And it doesn't really matter which post position you get. We both start with the same 3 horses, 1, 2, 5, and then you just change it up with the 7. I've got the 3 at the end. Tell us why you put the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 5 in order, like the same as I did.
Well, I like number 1, Make a Joyful Noise. Ran second versus similar in the last. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a really good jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. Has won 5 out of 12 races. Then I like number 2, Seafret. One is her last race at Parx, has the last race speed rating highest, and the trainer wins 26% of the time when bringing a maiden winner back to race again. The jockey in the last 7 days has a record of 14 starts, 4 wins, a second, and 3 thirds. And then number 5, Above the Limit, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer, should improve at the shorter distance, and the jockey in the last 7 days has got a perfect record of 3 for 3. And then number 7, Lady Bernadette. She's returning to a distance of her last win at Parx Racing.
So for me, Terry, in this race, the same order for me at the get-go. Make joy fun. Make joyful noise. Okay. The only win in that race for that horse that it's had so far came versus a fast pace. It's likely to see something along those lines here, but it can also be close to the front because it did run some of the best quarter-mile fractions for any horse last out. It's another horse that shows improvement in its second start off a layoff. That's what we see here today. And it's the first off the claim for trainer Jamie Ness, who's won 128 of the last 412 times he's brought a new horse out after the claim. Seafret is going to press the pace absolutely for sure, Terry. Much better fractions in its last, running its third consecutive speed figure increase. And again, a trainer liked what he saw here because the horse last ran on February the 9th, so a pretty quick turnaround. Number 5 is Above the Limit. Above the Limit has the top early pace numbers in the field, which translated into some of the fastest fractions any horse ran last time. And the horse also owns the fastest fractions for quarter mile that any horse in this field has been able to produce, and another that should step forward in its second start off a layoff. And then finally, number 3, kind of scratched into this spot for me, Terry. Gavici. The horse is making its first start off a claim 2 for trainer Juan Vasquez. It's an okay angle. It's probably won about 14 of the last 118 like that. But when you look at that jockey-trainer combo of Juan Vasquez and Jose Gomez, 2 of them have run together 10 times. They've won 3 of them, finished in the money in 4 of them. So they either win or pretty much do nothing at all. But that ROI is almost close to $4 at $3.92. So
that's a good one.
Yes, indeed. So if you bet $1 on that guy, you got $4 in profits across the board in that combination. Race number 3, Terry, is a claiming 5,000. It is 1 mile, 70 yards. We talked about that in the first race, 1 mile and 70 yards being 47 races, 33 won by speed, 13 going wire to wire. And it looks like you want to be either inside or outside. And you're going to start off with a horse I don't even have.
Yeah, number 3, Flight Risk. Let me say first that number 5, Montalone, has been scratched.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, number 3, Flight Risk. He won 2 out of the last 3 races at Parx and at today's distance, and he has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then Off the Meds likes Parx and the distance. Blinkers are added today. And then number 2, Spring Emperor is my third pick. Finished in the money at today's distance 57% of the time at Parx, and 50% at this distance, and at Parx it's finished 52% of the time in the money. Drops back in class where he can be competitive. And number 1, Louis Wish, has plenty of speed and should improve in a shorter distance.
I'm going to start with number 2. Spring Emperor has the fastest quarter mile fraction, so the horse can really get up out of the gate and go. But in addition to having a win near the front, the horse also has a stalking win. So that tells me it doesn't necessarily need the pace to score, and has the top early pace and late pace combination in the field. Louis Wish does have the top early pace numbers in this field for sure. And if he has the lead, if you look back at the past performance rewind, if he has the lead at 4 furlongs, I think he'll be hard to beat. Number 6, Denard, is an all or nothing horse in here. Terry's run at Parx 8 times, won 3 of them. But the number that really popped off to me is running at the distance, done it 4 times, has 1, 2, 3 wins. Nothing else on the board. And this is a horse that I expect can run right on the pace or can be way back. So it does have some versatility. But to get it done, it's probably going to need I would say, a pace that's close to par for this level, maybe a little on the slow side. And then I'm closing it out with number 7. And that horse is Off the Meds, Terry. Sometimes I feel like that myself. Sometimes I feel like I need him. But in any case, this is a horse first off the claim. Last time out, the horse did show a little bit of regression. So it's really, quite frankly, another one that scratched its way into this spot for me. So can it show up for a price? Maybe at the top of the board. But I think it's really more that's going to fill in the backside of the trifecta or the superfecta. I don't know, Terry. Did you get a chance to head over to the website today at horseracingtoday.net?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a new thing by Sean. It's called Jockey's Notes, I think. With Tyler.
What's Tyler's notes? So you can see on the
Tyler's
homepage.
Notes, yeah.
Tyler Connor, who's a great friend of the show.
Yeah, and it was pretty nice. I really enjoyed reading it.
So what Sean had Tyler do was go through and we really appreciate this. What he asked Tyler to do, not what he made him do, but what he asked Tyler to do, and he's a great guy for agreeing to come along and do this for us, is he went through the program on his mounts tonight at Penn National. And this is straight from the jockey, how he's looking at the race and what he expects. And if you go over there, you'll see race 2. He's got Dominant Factor. He says, I don't know anything about this horse. So it's kind of like you and I with our picks today, Terry, or yesterday. He's never sat on him before, but looks like he doesn't have any speed. So I'll just try to break good, stay within range, and try to run by them late. So he's giving you a good idea of what his viewpoint is on the races tonight. And maybe when you do your handicapping, if you run through the Penn National picks and you see something in here that you agree with Tyler, might be something you want to do. And if you like it, do us a huge favor. Go over to Facebook or Twitter and like that particular story, or whatever you want to call it, post on Facebook or Twitter, retweet it on Twitter, and then give it a thumbs up on Facebook, because the more popular it is, the more likely Tyler is going to continue doing these for us. And if we show that they work and the folks here in our community like them, we might be able to bring other jockeys who've come to the show that you've seen here on either the Players Edge podcast or the Horse Center podcast with Sean and I, to get them to put their notes in as well. So the more you do to help us, the more we can help you, so to speak, right?
That's right.
So back to Parx, Terry. We're going to do race number 4 now, which is my best bet of the day. And I felt like today on this card, Terry, there's a lot of low-priced horses that have a chance to make easy work of some of these fields.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with me on that or no?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I think there are.
So race 4 is 6 furlongs, Terry. It is a maiden claiming $25,000 for a purse of 26. This one is 6 furlongs long, 57 races, 37 won by speed, 14 of which went wire to wire. There's only been one horse in 57 races to win from the rail, so I would definitely avoid picking number 1, Raging Tempest, to be your winner. But everything else plays fair, so you're not going to see much of a difference in the win rate if you go anything above 2. Enforcer has the top pedigree. It also is my top pick. Has the strongest 2, 4, and late pace figures that the horse has generated in its last race. I'm expecting improvement in round 2 off the bench, and round number 1 was good enough because it was the top last race speed figure. And then, Terry, you also agree that Enforcer is your first choice.
Yeah, number 4 Enforcer is my first choice, and he has the highest last race speed rating. He has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 23% of the time on a second race after a layoff. And then he has the best start speed among today's starters. And then number 6, Gene Valligine, has a good jockey and trainer. The sire Offsprings wins first time starters.
Mm-hmm.
The dam has 1 winner from 1 starter, and the breeding suits today's sprint. And then number 1, Raging Tempest, drops in class today and switches to high percentage winning jockey, who in the last 7 days has been in the money 50% of the time, winning 6 out of 22. And then number 2, Eats Toy Soldier, has
ETs probably,
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, ET's Toy Soldier.
You know, like ET Phone Home, that guy?
Yeah. Well, I would have thought they would have capitalized the T, though. But anyway, has a good...
Or maybe it could be Etz then, a Toy Soldier. I don't know. I would go with ET, though. I
Well,
don't know that they really worry about that stuff when they're putting the program together, but who knows?
No, I know you're right about that. But anyway, he has a good trainer jockey and a bullet workout on February 9th of 1 minute and 3, best out of 15.
As I mentioned, number 4, Enforcer is my top choice. I think ET's or Etz or whomever's Toy Soldier could be the best of the 2 first-time starters. It does have some pretty good workouts, 27 furlongs of them since the December 29th. So the horse should be fit, ready to go. You know, in this race, you have these maidens where you have some horses that have experience, some that don't have experience. I usually bucket them up. So what I did is I split them up, right? So number 7, Issuing Justice, does have the fastest quarter-mile fractions. Did improve from race 1 to race 2. Is taking that Tom Carley drop from maiden special weight to maiden claiming. Last time out, ran for 34,000, down to 26,000 this time. Gene Valjean is the other first-time starter in this spot. Does have a couple of good works, but they're really not as strong as the number 2's workouts. But at the same time, when you look at the rest of the field, there's really not a whole lot to beat in here. So I feel like the 4 horse looks to me like the one that could stand out. Race number 5, Terry, is again 1 mile 75 yards, 1 mile 70 yards. It's another maiden claimer. So these are the fun ones, right? $25,000.
Yep.
We've talked about mile and 70 yards a couple of times. Just a quick recap. Most of the races are won by speed. About a third of them were won going wire to wire. And you want an inside or outside post to whatever degree that helps out. We both like number 6, Codependent, something people ought not probably be in their personal lives, but hopefully this horse finds its way into the winner's circle.
Yeah, I like number 6, Codependent, just like you. Finished 50% of the race, 50% of the time in the races at Parx racetrack, and drops in class today. Best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then Tequila Made Me Do It.
Everybody's excuse.
Yeah, anyway, he ran 4th in his last race after coming into the stretch 5 wide, and he has the highest last race speed rating. And then number 7, Fictional Fairy Tale. Early speed running style will help his chances in this wide open affair. And then number 2, Nikki Da Fox may improve while returning to a route, and the best dirt speed is fastest than the average winning speed.
I agree with you. This is a wide open affair, and Codependent looks very much like a vulnerable favorite to me. I really struggled to put it on top, but the horse does have the top pedigree, is one of the few making a drop when going from 30,000 to only 25, small drop. And the horse also does have a little bit of early pace ability. So I feel like it might be the most versatile horse in the race, but still one of the more vulnerable favorites on the card. Number 1, late to the show, showed some really nice 2 and 4 furlong improvement last time out in the first race off the bench. So I expect that you'll see a little bit of improvement in round number 2. It's tied for the top early pace and late pace combination in the field with the horse that did run some of the fastest quarter mile fractions last out. Tequila Made Me Do It. Yes, indeed. Tequila made me do a lot of things when I was younger I probably shouldn't have done. But the resume for this horse says that it should be better in its second race off a layoff. 3 consecutive speed figure increases coming into today's start. It is a Denzel Washington horse on a fast track, Terry. Run on a fast track 11 times and has 4 seconds and 4 thirds, so hasn't found the winner's circle yet. And I think if I read correctly, the track is listed as fast, so that suits the Tequila Made Me Do It's running style. And then finally, my last pick is number 7, Fictional Fairy Tale. This horse was lightly raced, so we don't really know its upside. One of the more lightly raced horses in the field. Did kind of get a wide trip last time out, so if it can find a way to save a little bit of ground, especially since the horse does have the top early pace numbers and did improve across the board in its in-race pace numbers. And race number 5 doesn't end our first pick 4, right? No. The 6 does, which is another maiden race. This one's maiden weight, maiden special weight, 34,000 for PA bred maidens, fillies that are 3 years old and up. It says yet another race at a mile and 70 yards. Terry, how are you hoping to close out the hot dog pick 4?
All right, number 2, Peach Perfect, ran second versus similar in her only start, and the trainer wins 24% of the time when using first-time Lasix. She can improve at the longer distance, and the jockey in the last 7 days has won 4 out of 14 races, been in the money 8 out of 14 times. Number 4, Argentina Girl, finished third versus similar in the last race. This trainer wins 50% of the time when using Lasix for the second time, and the jockey in the last 7 days has done very well. 22 starts, 6 wins. And then number 1, 8 Danzas, finished third versus similar in her last race, receiving the highest last race speed rating, and she has the best dirt speed among today's starters. Then number 5, Pageant Princess, has a good jockey and trainer and decent workouts.
I'm going to start with number 2, like you, Peach Perfect. Did run some of the fastest fractions last time out for any horse in this field. Does have the top pedigree, and along with those fast fractions, Terry, the horse gets a first shot of Lasix. So, you know, I'm a big fan of a horse that gets Lasix. And then on top of that, the horse also had had the top late pace figures last time out. So the 2 horse could be another one of those that you might want to consider for a best bet. It's fast out of the gate, has some strong late legs, gets that first shot of Lasix, and has a top pedigree. It sounds like a good combination to me.
Mhm.
Argentina Girl got the governor in South Carolina a few years ago in a lot of trouble. But anyway,
Yep, it sure did.
yeah, if you remember, that disappeared. Nobody knew where he was.
I know.
But this horse does have the top early pace figures in the field, tied for some of the fastest fractions that any horse has been able to produce. Jockey Juan Vasquez is 4 wins in 7 races with the trainer. This horse is getting second time Lasix and third off a layoff. The number 1, 8 Danzas, is another one that tied for the fastest early fractions, producing the top last race speed figure. Saw some really nice second half of the race improvement last out, which I like to see, and is the only horse in the field dropping from $42,000 down to $34,000. And then number 3, Imagism. I'm sorry, is the first time starter in this field. It's the only one I think in here, and it doesn't really look to me like there's a whole lot else to beat in here. So I figured, you know what? Let's put a horse in there that we don't know its upside. So this does end the prime rib pick 4, right, Terry?
It does.
So let's pull up
Absolutely.
our prime rib pick 4s for not our prime rib, but our hot dog pick 4s. I think we went right. Yes.
Yeah.
Race 3. Terry is going to come out of the box swinging with the 3, 4, with the 3, 7. Well, 4 picks in the first round, and then go 2 by 2 for $16. Terry's doing the light budget today. I went and put the 4 as my best bet as a solo, and then started with 3, and then went solo 6, 1, 3, 7, 2, 4, 1, hoping to make a stand. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, indeed.
All right.
I didn't spend all my $20 either.
No, you didn't.
Race number 7 is next up on the card, Terry. It's a little bit of a different distance this time. 7 furlongs, claiming for 7,500, non-winners of 1 in a year. 7 furlongs. They've been 30 races so far. 17 won by horses that were first, second, or third at the quarter-mile marker. 8 of the 30 went wire to wire. As far as the post position is concerned, 4 through 7 have outperformed the rest. The rail has a small penalty, and then everything else plays about the same. This horse has got the perfect name for a racehorse. Get the W, and Get the W also kicks off my box it up, Terry, because I feel like this race is one where there's a lot of good priced horses that have a chance to participate. And our box it up is 4 horses, $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. And yesterday in my box it up, I don't know if you saw that race, Terry.
Yeah.
But there was one race where the 6 horse took about half the field almost to the outside post. And that was my box it up.
I remember that. Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, that was it was pretty well. You know, when you see that horse take 2 or 3 of your horses wide, you know you're done. Which is terrible. I hate that when you know halfway through the race you're over, because it's the suspense at the end of the race when do I have a chance and do I have a chance that gets you. But Get the W, won his last by 6 1/4 lengths, showing some huge improvement across the board in its pace numbers, and that race was better than par for this distance. 6 consecutive speed figure increases. This horse continues to walk up the ladder, Terry. Get the W, should get the W. Number 9, Hizam at Parx, 10 times out, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third at the distance. 6 times out, 2 wins, a second, and a third. The horse has a bullet workout on February the 27th, dropping from a little bit of money, $26,000 to $21,000. And I like when horses drop that have the top pedigree, for which Hizam ties with number 1, keeping the pace. Keeping the pace is coming in from Laurel. I consider Laurel to Parx to be a track drop. Terry, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it is. So Laurel's, I think, a little better. So,
and coming in from Laurel off the track drop actually has a monetary drop as well, taking the biggest actual drop in the field. Ran for $32,000 last time, 21 this time. So you got the track drop, the money drop, and this is the other one, as I mentioned, to tie for the top pedigree. And number 2, Hard West, was a tough call for me over number 4, Loverboy Lou. Every Lou I know thought he was a lover boy, but anyway. But if Hard West can get the easy lead, there's really not a lot of other early pace in here. Has by far the best 4 furlong pace numbers in this field. And if he gets the easy lead and has the lead at 4 furlongs, it might be very difficult to get by Hard West and close up my box it up for Parx today in race number 7. How do you see race number 7, Terry? We
Yeah.
both agree with the 8 and 9, and then we get a little bit of funky afterwards.
That's right. I think it's kind of a wide open race, and get the W, as you said, this is a veteran horse, 9 years old, who's won at last race at Parx, earning the highest last race speed rating. And then number 9, Hazam, he drops in class, and as you said, he has a bullet workout, 36.4 breezing, best of 7. Number 6, Champers is a different horse than you, I think. Likes the distance, winning 50% of his starts, and may improve at the shorter distance. The jockey in the last 7 days has been perfect, 3 for 3. Number 7, Tactical Plan, won the last couple of races, which had trouble in the last couple of races, which affected his race. So he has the best dirt speed among today's starters.
So before we head off to race number 8, I don't know, did you get a chance to watch the show last night with Sean and I with retired jockey, but maybe not retired because she kind of waffled at points talking about that with Sean, that maybe she might come back, maybe she might not. I put it 99% she doesn't come back, but did you get a chance to watch that last night, Terry, with Julie Crone?
I did, and I enjoyed it very much. And she's a kick, I'll tell you. She's very excitable and outgoing, and she sounds like she's just be a lot of fun to be around. So.
Yeah, she definitely had a bubbly personality. There's no question about that. But tonight we go from one Hall of Famer to another, and this should be an interesting conversation for me. Jockey Pat Day will be live with Jockey Pat Day tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on Horse Center. Make sure you check that out with Sean and I. Make it easy on yourself by subscribing on YouTube. If you have not, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can see the handle below on the scroller at Horse Race, the number 2 Day. And the reason this should be a sticky conversation for me, Terry, is I've said a couple of times, every horse player has that jockey. And I think you know where I'm going to go with this, Terry.
I do.
That every time you bet on him, he doesn't win.
Yeah.
And every time you don't bet on him, he does win.
Yeah.
Pat Day was that jockey for me. Who was that jockey for you?
It was Ray York, and I don't think you probably even know him. He's way back when, but at Golden Gate Fields and Bay Meadows, every time he would run and I would bet on him, he would run 4th, 5th. Then I wouldn't bet on him the next race, and he beat my horse. So
yeah, and he would do so at like 7-1 or 10-1 or something, right?
Yeah.
So that was my experience with Pat Day over at Arlington Park. Unfortunately, that beautiful facility is closed. Why don't you head on over to Facebook if you haven't, or Twitter, and then what I'll do is I'll have Sean do this, and then everybody participate. I'm gonna have Sean do a who is that jockey for you in light of Pat Day coming on tonight. So we'll find out who everybody's jockey was, because everybody has one like that, and that's I don't know if it's just real or just it feels that way, but in any case, we're gonna head off now to race number 8, Terry, which is your best bet of the day, 6.5 furlongs. Allowance $25,000, Terry. And at 6.5 furlongs, 21 races, 13 of which were won by speed horses. 9 of those 13 actually went wire to wire. You do get a rail bonus. So, the closer you are to the rail, the better off you're going to be, because there is an inside 3 bias. And then 4 and out, I'll run about the same. Number 3 is Cartouche. And that is your best bet. It's my 4th pick today, Terry. So I hope you're right. I'm wrong. Why am I wrong, and why are you right?
Well, I like this horse because she's won 2 out of her last 3 races, and she's received the highest last race speed rating. She has a really good high percentage winning trainer. And then number 2, Shirley Green, won the last 3 races in a row at Parx, switches to jockey Ruben Silveria. And he's in the last 7 days been in the money 11 out of 22 times. Then number 1, Blue Paint, finished 4th after having trouble in her last race. And the Rail Post is winning at a 20% clip.
Mm-hmm.
She drops in class today. And then number 4, Center Court Champ, ran 2nd versus similar, actually tougher in last race, drops in class today. The trainer in the last 14 days has finished the money 4 out of 6 times, winning 2 of those.
Been on a long break, though, I think since August. But
yeah,
for me, I'm going to start with number 2, Shirley Green. This was another race I was contemplating making it my box it up, because I feel like I feel like these 4 horses are probably the best 4 in the field, and because there's reasons you can take for all of them. So I wouldn't be I mean, in every race, there's usually a pretty good favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the favorite in this one is 2-1, and you get a bunch of 3-1 of, and 7-2 types in here. But Shirley Green is undefeated in 3 races at Parx. I put Shirley Green as a top choice because it looks to me like when I went through the potential pace setup that there's a lot of early speed in here, and Shirley Green is one that can sit right behind the pace and run by him late. In fact, has the top late pace figures by a lot. So if Shirley Green is right behind a quick pace, she's going to run right by him. Number 1, Blue Paint at Parx, 6 races, 3 wins, 3 seconds. Horse is dropping, ran for $55,000 last time out, just $30,000 this time. As we mentioned, you have a horse that's on the high win rate rail, has some speed, and has really a couple nice workouts in between races. Number 4, Center Court Champ. That must be Roger Federer. Also undefeated in Parx, 2 for 2. Both were wire to wire. And if you look, one I think was on slop when he didn't run well at Parx. One was on slop and one was on the turf. So when he caught a fast track, did pretty well. It's the first race since August the 7th, but the workouts were a little bit concerning to me. But I went back and looked at the debut and just smoked everybody in the debut. So its resume says the time off shouldn't hurt. And then number 3, Cartouche does have the fastest opening fractions, top pedigree for this field. And it's just a half a length away from being undefeated in its last 3 races at Parx. And as you can see, all of these horses, these top 4 horses, there's reasons to make for all of them, right?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, for sure. Race number 9 is your box it up, Terry. It is a 7 furlong race, and we talked about 7 furlongs once before. 30 races, and even 30 of them. That was my high school football number, Terry, 30. I wanted to be number 1, but my coaches wouldn't let me wear number 1. They said, nobody can be that number. I just liked the way the number 1 looked relative to all the other ones. I also said, okay, fine, can I have 3? But they wouldn't let any of us have single-digit numbers. Yeah. And then I wanted to be 33 because of Tony Dorsett was my favorite football player for the Dallas Cowboys, but I was a sophomore when I got to 30, and the kids in front of me, upperclassmen, the guy was wearing 33. He graduated the year when I was a junior, so I just kept the number that I had before. But in any case, just a meaningless story nonetheless. But 30 races, 17 won by speed, 8 went wire to wire. Looks like you want to have a number 4 through 7. You do get a small penalty if you ride on the rail in this race, Terry. So this is your box it up. In this optional claiming 16,000. Why did you put this as your box it up?
Well, I did that because all the horses in here look pretty competitive to one another, and there's none of them that look like they're going to be a hard favorite. They all look like morning line odds are like 4 or 5 to 1. So I thought it'd be a good race to do that. And also, I like the Little Taters, my second pick. I love that name.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You bring up Little Tater. Are you a French fries guy or are you a tater tots guy, Terry?
Oh, I'm a French fry guy all the way.
Yeah. So now we got 2 surveys that Sean can throw out there. Who's that jockey? And are you a tater tot or a French fry guy or girl? Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or gal. I should probably say gal. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you over meaningless things again. Go ahead.
That's all right. I like number 2 as my top choice. Fleeter Than ran second versus in the last race and has a hot trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 3 races. And then number 6, Little Tater, broke slowly and finished 3rd versus similar in the last race, receiving the highest last speed rating. And also number 7 is my 3rd pick, Closet Shopper, won last race at Parx, receiving the highest last race speed rating. The trainer jockey combination has won 3 out of 7 races, finishing the money 5 times. And then number 1, Rolls Royce Joyce. Bob Dylan horse has run, 3rd 4 races in a row. So I think that horse would be a good one to be in like the superfecta.
I thought you were going to say that, you're a Bob Dylan Rolls Royce owner. You're knocking on the door, but you haven't got one yet.
Nope. Nowhere near that.
Yeah, me either. Well, maybe after today, if we can win a lot. Anyway, for me, I like Fleeter Than as well. Horse catching a little bit of a weight break here, Terry. And one of the few horses in the field that's not one-dimensional, so it can win from the middle or the front. did run some of the fastest fractions last time out. And jockey Andy Hernandez and Michael Moore, the filmmaker, the trainer, have an 87-cent positive ROI together, which is pretty good. And what I like about this horse is it has the top early pace and late pace combination, and it's not even close. Number 2, Closet Shopper, did tie for the top last race speed figure last time out, and that was its Parx debut. Showed some strong numbers, and the jockey trainer combination of Frankie Pennington and Jamie Ness is a really strong one as well. Has the top pedigree, and Jamie Ness likes so much what he saw on February 16th in the horse's debut at Parx that he said, we're going to run him right back. Number 6, Little Tater. And yes, Terry, I am a French fry guy as well.
All right.
In the money, 9 of 11 at Parx, tied for the top last race speed figure. And another one that the trainer said, I like what I saw so much. Let's get Little Tater back on the track, because last ran on February the 9th. And then number 3 is Solid Gold Dancer. Did you watch that show, Terry, when you were younger? Solid Gold?
No.
That was in the 80s, right?
Yeah, I think I saw it maybe once or twice. That was it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it. But anyway, I just remember like the opening where the people were dancing like the kind of gold glaze over the screen. Anyway, this horse did tie for the top fastest fractions that any horse has produced in this field. Speed should be the way. And I expect the horse to be on the gas all the way around in race number 9, which brings us to the closer of the day, Terry. That is race number 10. That usually comes after 9 on this 10-4 Fat Tuesday, Terry. And race number 10 is 7 furlongs. We just talked about 7 furlongs. It's claiming $10,000 race, non-winners of 1. 7 furlongs, most of which are won by speed. You get a little bit of penalty on the rail, and that's how it breaks down. We both agree on the 4 and 7 and the 2, just in a little bit different spot for the 2. Why does Mock Trial make your top selection?
Well, Mock Trial makes my here. I'm goofed up here. Just a minute.
Yeah, we're race number 10.
Yeah, I'm.
So I'll tell you why Mock Trial is my top pick. The horse has the top late and early pace combination, again, by a pretty good margin. Run at Parx 29 times, finished on the board in 18 of them. But interestingly, more important to me, is that the distance the horse has run 10 times, collected a check in 9 of them. How about for you, Terry?
Yeah, and my problem was I had the wrong name in there. So anyway,
I have the wrong name up.
No, I did.
Okay, so one mistake for me, one mistake for you. There's got to be a tiebreaker somewhere before we close.
That's right. Well, Mock Trial finished third versus similar in the last race, winning the race before that at Parx.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like number 7, Manolete. Actually ran second in its last race and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. The best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. That number 10, Drina's Bullet, has a high percentage winning trainer and a high percentage winning jockey. And in the last 7 days, that combination has won 4 out of 14, finished in the money 7 out of 14 times, drops in class today, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starter, actually tied with somebody. Then number 2, Mission Wrap It Up. Drops in class today. Trainer wins 21% of the time when going sprint, route, sprint. And the jockey in the last 7 days, as I said previously, has been perfect, 3 for 3.
I like number 4, as I mentioned, as my top pick. Number 7, Manolete, showed some improvement in its last race. That's for a horse that ties for the top pedigree. And it's going to get, so it showed some little bit of early pace improvement in the 2 and 4 furlong numbers, but also gets a weight break today. So that could maybe help it carry that speed a little bit longer. Think about 5 pounds. And from what I've read, 5 pounds is a half a length, right? It's a half a second.
Yeah.
Number 2, Mission Wrap It Up. You have to ignore that last race to put this horse in here for sure. But there's not a lot of early pace in this field. So if Mission Wrap It Up can get the lead, look out. And as you mentioned, trainer Joseph Taylor has done pretty well. He's won 37 times out of the last 162 times he brought a horse from a route to a sprint. Alejandro's team, number 1, was a tough call for me over number 3, a Lawn Boy, and pretty much everybody else. But Alejandro's team showed some nice improvement in the second half of the race last out. and whereas Lawn Boy showed declining form. So I'd rather horses that are climbing up the ladder than coming down the ladder, especially if they're both essentially the same place on the ladder, right?
That's right.
So here we go with our prime rib pick 4. I made a little bit of an upside down pyramid. Terry, you went the more standard route, 4x3 by 4x4. I went to 5x4 by 3x3. Yours is $96. Mine is $90. Terry, any particular reason why you crafted it this way?
Well, I just think that the last 4 races are pretty darn wide open, and it's pretty hard for me to, single out a horse or just do 2. And so I wanted to keep spread out in it. And I think it's going to be a pretty good pain pick 4, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I think it can be, but I also think that this card can be top heavy today. I want to thank Robert Bryan, Roy Surgeon, and Jimmy Little for giving us a thumbs up over on Facebook. The like, if you like it, please do the same. And just to run through our picks again real quick, Terry, here's our Parx entire card. Here is our box it ups. Race number 9 for Terry, race number 7 for Rich. Our prime ribs, which starts in race number 3, because I think there's at least 3 pick 4s on this card today, right, Terry?
There's 4 actually.
Again, 4. Oof, they love that. And then there are
do.
prime rib pick 4s.
Yep.
And let me ask you, Terry, what do you think about what do you think about this? You like that?
I do, yeah. I got my email that my items shipped yesterday. So I'm supposed to get them sometime around the 3rd or 4th of March.
So you'll be wearing it. You have your HRT gear as well. How do you like that logo, Terry? I mean,
I love
look great?
You know what? I really like that logo. I've liked it for years. It's been around for a long time, and I've really liked it for a long time.
So if you like the logo too, like Terry, do us a huge favor. Go over to horseracingtoday.net. Click on the HRT gear in the menu. You can do that on your phone as well. You'll see when you hit the menu on the mobile, you'll see a HRT gear. Click on that. It'll take you to our shop. You can get some hats, some nice shirts. There's the lucky number 13. I might be styling the lucky number 13 tomorrow, Terry. I got half of the numbers right now, and I'll get the other half so that I can be styling every single day.
That's right. Sounds good.
Indeed.
Hey, what's going on at the Guaranteed Tip Sheet as far as what's the free picks today?
Today's free pick, Terry, good question, is I think it's Penn National, as a matter of fact. So all you got to do is go to horseracingtoday.net. You'll see on our pages. You can click on over there. We'll link to in the recap article. But if you go over there, you'll go to Penn National. You'll see Penn National. Boom, free picks. So what you can do then is you can take the free picks here and then head on over to Horse Racing Today again. Look at Tyler Connor's notes. Put the two together and maybe find yourself some really nice winners today.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. And listen, Rich, if everybody likes what we've been doing here, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Like us on Facebook at Horse Race, the number 2 day. And we're also now on Instagram at Horse Race, number 2 day.
The only thing left is to get Sean to do some juggling on TikTok, and we'll be great. We'll be good
with
to go.
Chainsaws
On fire too, right? You got to put them on fire. All right, tomorrow Terry and I will be back at 12 o'clock Eastern to cover Gulfstream Park. We haven't quite made up our mind for what we're going to do on Thursday yet. So if you have any suggestions, put it in the comment section or send me an email at gtsrichb@gmail.com or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram at which track you might like for us to do on Thursday because Aqueduct's not running. And then on Friday, I will be back with Thomas to talk about Australia, where we've done some very good work. Again, tonight we'll have on Hall of Fame jockey on the Horse Center at 8 p.m. Sean and I with Pat Day. And then tomorrow night with Sean, we have Jose Ortiz, probably headed for the Hall of Fame as well. That's it for today. Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get up and get out of here today?
Just want everybody to have a good day and pray for the people over in Europe. That's what's going on there, and just give your loved ones a big hug and a kiss. And happy birthday to my son Brian today. Happy birthday, Brian. I don't know how old you are, but happy birthday, man. And you made it this long with Terry as your dad. You deserve multiple prizes.
Yeah.
That's
just
true.
kidding, of course, Terry. I'm sure you were
Yeah.
a wonderful father. All right, that wraps up for today. As always, we hope that your day and all of your picks at Parx and wherever else you're playing today on this Fat Tuesday end up in J. Marco's
Winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Tuesday, everybody.